All right. Welcome to another Being a Ninja interview. I have a very special guest with me. It is longtime Ninja member, Jennifer Lai. She's been a member of ours. Actually, long story. Jennifer used to train with me with her husband way, way back, probably
Yes.
six, seven, probably six, seven,
6 years, coming on to seven, I think.
7 years ago in our Markham location.
Yes.
Moved up to Stouffville
Yes.
for a little while with the kids and everything. Came back to the Stouffville location, and she has an amazing transformation story. But I'll let her talk about that and just kind of take us back to going from having kids to your journey to where you are now. So Jennifer, I'll let you
Uh,
take it away.
okay, well, I started in Markham on, at 2014, I think. So this
Mhm.
is right before I got married. And then I was just trying to lose some weight to fit into the wedding dress, I guess.
Nice.
and then, and then my husband actually came with me and we did it together. I think I was known as the girl that always wore the windbreaker to class to just try to sweat more. And then after I got married, I guess we got pregnant and then kids happened and I just never had time to do anything. Um, but I after my second, I vowed to make time for myself. I wanted to do something because I wasn't happy. I gained about 40 pounds, I think, with my
Oh,
first
wow.
child. I couldn't lose anything. So even if people say, oh, breastfeeding and pumping helps, it didn't help. So I couldn't lose much. And then I had my second. So with my second, I only gained 15 pounds, but still it added up. So I promised myself once she turned one, I would go and do something about it. So,
Good.
and then I signed up for a challenge in Stouffville
Yeah.
because I knew I would always come back to you guys because I know
Awesome.
it works. So I signed up for a challenge in Stouffville. I lost about, I think it was 24 pounds the first 6 weeks. And
24 pounds in 6 weeks.
yeah, and 7.3% body fat, I think. That challenge, I did not cheat at all. And then um, I I stopped the challenge for a month after that, and then I went on the challenge again. So I did another 6 weeks, and then at that time, I think I lost another 20 and another 6% body fat. So as of now, I think I've lost upwards of. I think I started at 160.
Hmm.
I think my heaviest was 170, like right after I had my child.
Uh-huh.
Um, and now I'm at 124
That's
ish.
amazing. 120. Is this your weight when you are get married?
No, I don't think I was ever this skinny until I think I was this skinny when I was 13.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So now you've actually gotten lower than you were even when you first started with us before you were getting married.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Huh.
I
So
think the lowest I was when I was working in Hong Kong, but the lifestyle is different, right? Like you had to walk everywhere. You
right.
couldn't do anything. There's no driving around, right? It's all just walking. So you kind of there's my daughter, and you kind of you kept a physique, right? Yeah.
Right,
So
right, right. It's
that
much
back
more,
then I was a little bit skinnier, but not as skinny as now. I think my husband says I'm a chopstick
now you're a chopstick. So talk to me about the two differences, like because you initially when you first started with us, you wanted to lose some weight for the wedding. Did you
now.
achieve that goal when you first started?
Yes.
Okay,
It wasn't as drastic as after having kids because I
sure.
think after having kids that your body changes so much. I don't
Right.
think you can ever get back to before having kids because
Hmm.
right now I'm just struggling with the I call it the pouch.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't go away. So no matter how slim you look, you still have that little pouch. So
Okay.
and that's just something that I'm trying to work on.
Right, right, right. I mean, your body's changed drastically, like you said, gaining 40 pounds over the span of 9 months, and then now, you know, losing it as well. So what was different when the first time before like losing weight before having kids and losing weight after having kids? Like what were you find was the biggest challenge? Let's start with the biggest challenge.
Oh, the biggest challenge, motivation.
Okay.
I think because after having kids, um, especially as a mom, you're like, okay, I'm leaving them right when I put them to bed. I don't even know if they're sleeping yet. Like I know they're sleep trained, but like I put them to bed and I leave and I go do my workout. Like it's just it's having the motivation, and it's just after work. So I work with children and I'm up on my feet all day. So it's like after putting the kids to bed, I just want to go to bed. So
Yeah.
it's the motivation, I think. And a lot of it was I think the difference was the nutrition too. Yeah, because I think before when I did it, before we got married, there wasn't like the whole meal plan that we had to follow,
Mhm.
and all that stuff. So I think the nutrition helped a lot.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah.
So nutrition was the big differentiator to see that difference, but
Hmm.
also I think your challenges that you're running into now is like that stuff of mom guilt.
Hmm.
Also, I mean, now that you work all day and then you have to do the workout at the end of the day because that's the time
Yes.
that you have to do it.
Yes.
How did you overcome that? Let's talk about the mom guilt first, and then let's talk about how you overcome like the motivation to actually get up and do the workout after a long day.
Well, I mean, because I put it off for so long. Like she was almost 5, I think,
And
before
I'm
I
already 5.
before before I got myself back to the gym. So it was kind of like I can't put it off anymore. If I wanted to feel good about myself and have the energy to run with them and to do all that stuff, the playing and all that, because she doesn't stop. So
Yeah.
then I don't know if you know, like when I first started, I was still on mat leave. So I
Mhm.
took my kids with me to the gym. So my younger one would be sitting in a booster seat, and then she would be busy either playing with the balls that you guys had, or
Yeah.
we had pylons for her to play with. So um, that that made me feel a little bit better because I could bring them with me.
Mhm.
And then when I went back to work, I had to do all the evening classes. So the motivation was just it's the community. I think the
Mhm.
coaches there were so nice. They're all invested in your achievements, right? And they're happy. They're genuinely happy that you are um, gaining muscle mass and you're losing the body fat. Like it's the community and it's the people that were there that
Mhm.
made me want to go back. So like I used to do in the kickboxing classes, I only did bags. And Coach Chris told me my bag days are over. So so I had to find someone to do pads with. And then I found the joy in it, and I would never go back to a bag. Like it was just having the people there
The
to
connection.
motivate you. Yeah. So
Love it.
even now that we did online, I love online because there's this still the people are still there.
Right.
You get to talk before class. You know they're working out with you, and like now I try to do my workouts all in the morning. So then I do the 6 a.m. classes, the 8 a.m. classes, so I can rest at night.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So I heard two things, and I think the listeners and the viewers are going to take this away. Number one is she said that Jennifer said she couldn't keep up with her kids if she wasn't fit and healthy, which is I think is an important aspect. I think a lot of people that when moms get involved with fitness, it's like my kids are first, my kids are first, but you can't be your best for them if you're not feeling the best.
Mhm.
So I think that was a huge point that you made. And number two, I think the motivation came from having accountability from not only the coaches, but also the community and the people around you
Mhm.
that really push you to keep going. Because some days you just don't feel like doing it, right? I'm sure.
Yeah. Some days
Yeah.
like I walk in, I'm like, I don't want to be here. But then you start the warm up and you're like, oh, you forget all about it and you're so
Yeah.
happy afterwards, right? It's the it is the community. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just about getting started. So,
Yeah.
so you phenomenal results. It's like close to 50 pounds over the journey that you've been with us. Looks like I think
I
I'm
think
doing
at my
my math.
heaviest
45.
I was a size 12, and the happiest thing was I could buy size 2 clothes. Like I would never, never, never imagine myself being like a size 2.
It's amazing. Size
Yeah.
12 from a size 2. I want to talk about your you jump on a lot of challenges,
Yes.
which I want to talk about too, because I think a lot of people, like when they hear challenges, and they say, "Oh, I've already done a challenge before, and
Yeah.
I don't need to do it again." But
Yeah.
I think you giving yourself, talk to me about why. Actually, let me ask you, why do you do so many challenges back to back?
Why? I the thing is, it's a lifestyle change. So the first challenge was really hard because all of the food changes and all that, and then the second challenge it became a little bit easier because Coach Chris is the one that taught me how to brine my chicken and how to make it juicier and all that stuff, and then it got easier. So then it was more of a lifestyle change. So even if I wasn't on a challenge, I was still eating a challenge friendly breakfast and lunch, sometimes mostly dinners. So like it's it's just a change in lifestyle. So I don't really see it as I'm jumping on a challenge all the time. It's just reverting back to um, all the lessons that I've learned.
Oh, and I made a video about this, that people don't need to be taught new things. They just need to be reminded. And I
Yeah,
brought this analogy that every day I have to remind my kids. I'm sure it's your daughters too. You got to remind them to brush their teeth, remind them to put their shoes on, remind them to do this. So when they're adults, they have this habit of doing it. And
yeah,
I think people forget how long it takes to actually build that lifestyle and that habit.
yes,
And so I love that. So you jump on challenges because it helps you, remind you of going back to the basics and the foundations of what got you here in the first place.
yes, yeah.
Okay,
So
beautiful.
like I had a time where I wasn't losing anything, and then even you told me to go eat whatever I want for a week because my body needed the reset, right? Because I
Mhm.
was too used to having um, the high protein, low carb, like that kind of diet. But it is like every time I jump on a challenge, I'm strictly on that diet,
Mhm.
and it just brings me back to the habits. And then
Yeah.
when I'm not on a challenge, I'm like 80% of the time.
And sometimes 80% is good enough, but you're at a place, Jen, where like you're at a place where you're happy. So even if you have a fluctuation up, you probably have the ability and the know-how to get you back down as well.
Mhm. Yeah.
Which,
So
which,
even with the recent challenge, with the Halloween challenge, I never thought I could lose 12. Was it 12
yeah,
pounds?
you lost 11 point. I want to talk about that. So even after Jen lost close to 45 pounds on this recent 21 day, you probably were off for a little bit and you jump
Hmm.
back onto it, right?
Hmm.
Um, you lost 11.4. Let me just see the stats here. 11.4 pounds and 5% body fat.
Yes.
Still, after this journey of losing 45 pounds, what here? What's the secret? What did you do differently?
What did I do? I didn't cheat. I did the prove it challenge. So I did so the first week of the challenge I was eating the challenge friendly foods,
Hmm.
and then the second week I did the prove it challenge, which is the cleanse, and
Hmm.
that week I lost so much because it was just fruits and vegetables, which
Hmm.
you would think that it's a lot of carbs. But yeah, so I lost a lot that week, and then the last week I went back on the challenge food again. So
Right.
I think that helped, because even if you're plateauing, I guess that helped kickstart something.
Sure.
Like
Sure.
yeah, it shocks your body enough so that it would start to lose again. So I'm hovering around a range. I don't know if that's what people um are looking for, if that's their end goal, but like for me that range, I think it's okay. I'm always inside that range of 20. I think it was 24% body fat to about 28
Hmm.
ish.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
And that's amazing because you could just fluctuate and you know how to control it.
yeah, I've
So
always wanted to do 21, but like I can't. I don't know how to get
yeah,
down
yeah. And I think for everybody it's a good journey. And I know you and me had some conversations on building muscle being the
there.
priority
Yes.
at this point.
Yeah.
So
Taking away the pouch.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, the best thing I like, if I had if I knew the exact secret, like if I knew exactly how to snap my fingers and get rid of every woman's pouch, I mean, I think that'd be that. but it takes
You'd be a
time.
millionaire.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I wouldn't be a fitness business. I'd be a plastic surgery business. But
No, because like I really think if I had like your gym at my house, it could help.
I mean, it could, and I think the key to building muscle is going to be progressive overload and adding
Mhm.
more resistance onto your body,
Yes,
because the more resistance, the thing about body weight, and you do a lot of online workouts, which is great. The thing about body weight exercises, it takes a lot more repetitions to get you close to failure. And that's
exactly.
really the key, is that we want, the reason why you lift heavy and the reason why I lift heavy is because I get to a point where I do an exercise and my movements are very basic. Squats,
Yeah,
presses, overhead presses, all the
yeah,
basic stuff, but I
yeah.
lift heavier so I can get close to failure, and that's how we end up building muscle
Building muscle.
progressively.
So
Progressively.
yes, I recently purchased the body resistance bands, the big ones,
Good, good,
so
good,
that
good.
I can add more resistance to whatever workout I'm doing at home. And I'm trying to train my pull-ups. It's really hard.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's all, start off with just hangs, just like everything. It's just like building up
Okay.
your grip strength.
Yeah, because I think it's just my arms. They're
Yeah,
very like I don't know, they're tiny. So like how are you supposed to build them up? Like
yeah, yeah. So grip strength is probably going to be priority in that. So that's awesome that you're adding resistance.
mhm,
So this last challenge, you lost 12 pounds. I know you did the Prove It challenge, which for those that are listening and watching, that is probably one of our secrets that has been seeing people getting phenomenal results, because it does give that body a quick shock in terms of dropping the calories really low, and getting vital nutrients, and it's for a lot of people that eat badly, this is a good way to get in all the vital nutrients that you need to reset your body to get it optimized for fat loss again.
mhm,
But funny thing that you mentioned is that you didn't do anything different from the first challenge versus this challenge. You were just more strict,
mhm. Yeah.
and that's how you lost 11 pounds, 11, close to 12 more pounds. It's amazing how that works, right?
It's a lot of determination. Like you kind of have to just not get distracted. Like I cook for them, and then my mom lives with me too, so now she's cooking a lot of really good food. And it's like the fattier types of meat and whatnot. So it's just you have to focus. So I do all my meal plans for myself, and there's always a freezer full of my protein, like my pork, my chicken, and all that stuff. So I always just grab and go. Like
Love it.
I don't have to worry about if I have food or not. Yeah.
So
So
I want to touch on this because I hear this from a lot of people that I talk to, is like, I don't want to cook differently for my family and myself. How did you overcome this with your family? Because you got a husband that likes to eat, I'm sure. Kids that like to eat a certain thing.
because when I meal prep, I prep for a couple of weeks. So like I always cook a lot, and then it's for all the protein actually. So the pork and the chicken and whatnot. So I cook a lot, and then I portion it and I freeze it. So every day I would take one portion out, put it in the fridge, and then when I need it, I would just take it out and microwave it or whatnot. And then I would eat it with fresh veggies. So they have veggies, right? So then I just cook more for myself. So it's not necessarily cooking differently for everybody. They get a different protein, but the veggies are the same. And then I cook their rice, but I don't eat rice.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's not necessarily having more work because I already did all my prep. So I don't need to worry about my food every day. It's just cooking for them.
That's an awesome strategy. So all you do is prep the proteins, because that's the macro that you need the most of. Freeze it away. You still, the family still eats all together, but
Yeah.
you just have like an extra serving of that protein that that's going to help you with your
Yes.
fitness and goals.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
like they get like chicken drumsticks, but I still have my pork tenderloin or my chicken breast. Yeah.
Love it, love it. For those that may, I hear something else that I hear an excuse a lot. I hear from people is like, I don't know about the taste of frozen and all this frozen meat and all this. I need the sauces and all that stuff. How do you
You
deal with
can
that?
get a lot of sauces from the Walden farm. So I've recently, because of COVID, I don't go out to supermarkets a lot anymore. So I recently found a low carb grocery will deliver. So I buy it in bulk. I have like ten bottles right now of the pancake syrup. And
That's
then
all.
I use the ranch, the dressings as my sauce, and that's already enough. And then I do dry spices because you can use whatever dry spices that you want. So I always marinate with the dry spices, and then it's already enough flavor for me. Like I don't do spicy, so
Mhm.
if you guys do spicy, you guys can add like the Frank's, like
Yeah.
red hot sauce. But
Yeah.
I don't do spicy. So and I also don't cook everything fully. I always leave enough so that when I reheat it, it is perfect.
That
Yeah,
that is an awesome tip right there. If you guys
yeah,
re-listen to that, um, if you overcook your food and you cook it all the way and then you freeze it, put it in the fridge, and then you reheat it, it's going to be way overcooked.
yeah.
I think that is a really underrated secret to keeping your meats juicy and moist. So awesome, Jen. Those are some great tips. Last question I'm going to ask you is kind of is for people listening and watching this. If they were what would you say to somebody who's not motivated, like kind of where you were before getting started? What would you say for them to get motivated and get started?
Um, it's really looking deep into yourself to see what you want. So I was always looking in the mirror and I didn't like what I saw, and then I was always getting tired. I just wasn't happy. So you kind of have to do something to for yourself. So if you can take the first step and start this journey for yourself, you're actually helping everybody that's around you because you're happier, you're there more, you can play with them more, you're running around with them. Like it's you just have to look at the big picture, I guess. It's not just for yourself, right? It's like, yes, you get to look in the mirror and you can feel good about yourself. You can wear all the clothes that you never used to be able to fit into. But they're happy too because they get a happy mommy. They get, they get someone that's not always so stressed out and so sad and so tired, and yeah, right? So
Love that. Looking deep in within, finding your why and the reason
yes.
why you want to do this.
Yeah.
And I think that using that emotion to really drive you is important too,
Yeah.
because really, like, do you want to feel sad all the time or do you want to feel happy? And I think
Yes. And
weighing
that
out
was my focus, I think, and what pushed me to keep going. Yeah. Because
uh,
for me, I think when I first started, I said, okay, it was just one challenge and then that's it. And then to see how much I could lose in that one challenge. But after that one challenge, I'm like, I can do this.
yeah,
And then I went for another one. And then I did the 3 week ones. And then I just kept going. Like
yeah.
it wasn't, yeah, it's not a one time thing. I think it's a journey that you
Sure.
go through. Yeah.
Love it, love it. And I think that the fact that you put yourself through challenges regularly is just a testament to your success because you're willing to do those hard things
Yes.
that people aren't willing to put themselves through. But again, I think that one tip about finding your why and the reason why you want to do this.
Yeah.
Jen, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for being on this interview. I hope it's inspired somebody or some people to get up and get motivated and start doing something. Any last words you want to say, Jen?
No, I mean, I always like to encourage all of, the members, like the fellow ninjas, because I feel happy when they see results. And I think that's just the teacher in me.
Yeah.
But I'm always very happy to see everybody else gaining the gains that they want.
That's awesome. All right, Jen, appreciate it. Thank you for sharing your
Thank
secrets
you
on
for
health.
having me.
Yeah, thank you for sharing your secrets on health, wealth, and being kick butt. I'll see you later.
Bye bye.
Bye. See you later.
See you.